Welcome to TailorMade on emPOWERme.tv, where every day we approach fashion and style as an opportunity to make a difference in your life. I'm your host, Brian Rada, and today we are joined by Creative Director, Mr. Charles Snowden. Good morning, Charles.
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's a great day and a great day to talk about fashion.
Yes, it is. So let's get right to it, shall we?
Let's do it.
Excellent. Well, first up, we have a really excellent new fragrance from one of my favorite designers, Mr. John Varvatos. John Varvatos is an amazing luminary here. Here he is pictured. He's the gentleman on the left. He's, I think, one of the best high-end designers out there for men's fashion right now. And I personally have been wearing one of his fragrances for a while. It's an Artisan collection, John Varvatos Artisan. You'll see this here. This is my personal bottle I brought from home. And what he's done is he has actually added a new fragrance to his line. He has 5 fragrances. The one that came out is this week is Artisan Acqua. It is a 5th Varvatos scent and the 3rd in his Artisan pillar. The designer's first signature fragrance bowed in March of 2004, followed by Vintage in August 2006, Artisan March of 2009, and Artisan Black in April of 2010. As he has done with all of his previous fragrances, the designer collaborated with Rodrigo Flores-Roux, senior performer at Givaudan. Well, this is a really exciting fragrance. I think Varvatos has a really nice sense of sweet and fresh. And, you know, he's really going for Americana, you know, smaller batches of cologne, perfume. I don't think any other scent out there on the marketplace, especially in men, smells like what he's doing. And it's one of my favorite things. Charles, what is your favorite cologne?
Well, actually, I love the first Varvatos, too. The one with the beautiful bottle before you start doing all these beautiful packages with the weaving techniques, which I think keeps it really natural. That's what it's about, like you said. Keep it natural.
Exactly, exactly. Well, you can see on this Aqua one, he's also going back to the knitting here. His great packaging, and you know, he really wants to get into smaller batches, really making it custom and special. Of course, he is anticipating to make between 18 to 20 million off of this product over the coming year. So I don't know how much artisanal it's going to really be, but you know, I think it's a great scent and I'm excited to smell it. So ladies or gentlemen, if you're looking for a nice cologne for your man for, you know, winter and the holiday season 2013, I would stop here first. All right, moving on. Next we have a really trending topic out there known as Swants. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about sweater pants. I did a little bit of research yesterday on a really fun blog called West Knits. It is curated by knitter Mr. Stephen West. And this is, I think we're seeing a trend in people reappropriating clothing into something different. Obviously, you can tell from my lovely vest here, there's no coincidences here on TailorMade. The reason I wore this vest today is because I found this in a thrift store. They've reappropriated ties and turned them into a vest. I think there's a lot of fun things going on here. Obviously, I'm not afraid of color or pattern, and I like the idea that they took something that was initially intended for one use and then reappropriated it and made it into a vest. So, what makes a good swant sweater? Well, drop shoulder sweaters are excellent swants candidates because they have a less fitted and more boxy shape. Your legs go through the armholes, so the waist is worn upside down on your torso. Set-in sleeves and fitted armholes may be too tight for your thighs, depending upon your size and shape. The waist is often too wide to achieve close fit. So, what do you think, Mr. Snowden? Is this, how many swants do you have in your wardrobe?
Well, as of now, none, but I will have about a dozen because I haven't done that since I was 2. But you know what could help that is some suspenders. So that'll actually help with the waistband problem.
You're going to go get some suspenders?
I'm going to do it right now.
Okay, great. Well, obviously, once the swants are created, you can go and hang out with your friends. And you can swant on an escalator. You can swant by the lake. Or you can just swant with confetti. There's a lot of fun swanting to be had once you and your friends get together and reappropriate your sweaters into swants. So I don't know if this is for everybody, but kudos to the homemakers and knitters out there who are working on a budget and reappropriating old sweaters and turning them into something new. Excellent. Moving on. Well, as you know, it was the It was the old country music awards this year. Happened this week in, I think it was probably in Nashville, right? Is that where it was, Charles? Is that where they always hold the country music awards?
It's either that or Branson, yeah.
Or Branson, Missouri?
Yeah, that's a
where
huge
they go?
country western thing.
All right, well, it was an excellent time there at the Country Music Awards. People came out in force. No style was left unturned here. Before we get into the meat of this bit, which is really about Carrie Underwood's tour de force performance on the runway. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. She was just hosting the awards ceremony. I want to pop to the Lady Antebellum. Again, we're seeing a trend here in men's. Here we had Dave Haywood rocking the three-piece suit. He's got texture. He's in tweeds. You know, we're seeing a lot of colors in suits right now, browns, and I think he's really rocking the three-piece suit here. So, in my opinion, Dave Haywood, you win Best Dressed Male at the Country Music Awards this year. Kudos to you, good sir. So before we get into Carrie Underwood, I want to say what happened here with her really reminded me of Anne Hathaway's performance 2 years ago when she was hosting the Oscars. I don't know what that experience was like for you, but for me it felt like I was watching the Rachel Zoe runway show. Charles, do you remember Anne Hathaway on the runway?
I do. I love it when you can host an award show inside your own walk-in closet. I think it's perfect.
You know, Anne Hathaway had at least, what? She had like 9 costume changes. And by the end of the evening, I really felt like, you know, Anne Hathaway, I was taken out of the Oscars from the people who we were there to pay tribute to because I kept wondering what you were going to wear next. I believe Anne Hathaway had at least 6 or 7, you know, costume changes throughout the night. And here we see Carrie Underwood going to the same ilk. Here she's on the red carpet. I think this is the best image for her of the entire evening. It's really lovely. We're seeing still that trend of women sort of silhouetting at the bottom, that sheer, you know, the sheer fabric going elongating all the way to the bottom there. She looks lovely. For me, Carrie Underwood is Barbie, but she's really stylish and usually knocks it out of the park. But let's jump into her awards hosting here. Next we have up, this is a piece by Christian Siriano. As you know, he won Project Runway several years ago. He's wearing, and for me, I always get a little confused when I see dresses like this. It's like half skirt in the front, but then full length in the back. It's kind of like, for me, I just feel like it's mullet central. You know, make up your mind. You know, business in the front, party in the back. Do you have any comments on this, Charles?
Exactly. It's exactly what you said, but the party's in the front this time.
But the party's in the front. Exactly. Next up, we have this lovely piece. She's in a black and white gown here. I think she looks pretty elegant, sophisticated. And the next best dress of the evening we have is this silver sort of aqua piece. Any thoughts on this, Charles?
This is beautiful. It takes you back to the film noir period with like Veronica Lake, that beautiful, gorgeous, old, glamorous Hollywood. I think she pulled it off extremely well, and I'm really proud of her.
But it looks like she also has a little extra room there for some sandwiches.
Oh, talk about sandwiches. Let's get on to the next segment. Oof.
Yeah, she's got some billowing going on there, which I think works. But in case she gets hungry, she can stuff a sandwich in there.
Oh my God!
It's just for later, right? Okay. Well, next up we have, I think three of these outfits here didn't quite really land for me. First up we have this piece where, you know, I don't know if she's going to a Star Trek convention. Somewhere she's deep in Space Nine. It's a mix between industrial. I don't know. There's so much going on there. I just get lost. I'm lost in translation, I think is what this piece should be called. Next up, we have, you know, meet Carrie Jetson. She's on her way there. She looks like she's going to a 1970s romper room, or with the rest of the Jetsons. Any thoughts on this piece, Charles?
I just think Marsha, Marsha, Marsha is all I think of because, yeah, that's a miss.
Yeah, it didn't quite land it, especially for a night like this where she's, you know, hosting, and she's showing some bare midriff there, which I think is never appealing, especially when you're supposed to be a little more on the sophisticated side as a host. And the final piece for me, I mean, she's obviously going full-on 70s here. The bell bottoms aren't dead, folks. You'll see here that, you know, she's mixing some patterns. You know, Carrie, like ultimately she can wear a paper bag and still look great, but for me, my bigger concern, other than some of the fashion she's wearing, is when a host changes their outfits. She had 9 different outfits throughout the award show. Does that take away from the people who were there to be awarded and who are there to be celebrated? For me, it turns too much into a fashion show and a runway show, and not not being there for the initial reason of why everybody's gathered there, which is to celebrate the artists and their hard work. So I do not like this trend of seeing hosts for major events changing their costumes 20 times. I don't think it works. This is my plea to the larger networks and their stylists to not sign those contracts stating that their clients need to wear 8 or 9 gowns before the evening is over. Charles, do you have any thoughts on this?
Absolutely, because the host is actually there as a machine to help move it along and keep it smoothly running, and to support the artist, as you said. Maybe if they wore something that was anticipation to that next event, best song, best new release, that would be something that I think would keep it all together. This is a little too abstract and it's too personal instead of about the whole community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And definitely no bad on Carrie Underwood, because she is to me an icon. I think she's incredibly talented, and she 9 times out of 10 kills it on the red carpet or off. But clearly, I think this is something that is a trend within the industry, not just a Carrie Underwood problem. All right, well, that's all the segments we have so far today. But before we wrap up, I asked each of our guest co-hosts to bring in a favorite item from their wardrobe that makes them feel awesome, that really represents who they are. So today we call this segment Under the Purple Boa. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. You see a purple boa. What's in the basket today? Let's find out, shall we?
Surprise. Surprise.
And actually, I'm going to get in the habit here of always putting on the boa. It makes me feel a little more sophisticated. And while I'm at it, I think this is a look, huh? Can I go for the full-on cowboy? So what did you bring here, Charles? What do we have here? It's Christmas every day here on TaylorMade. Oh my goodness! Wow. Well, so this is a really beautiful piece. In fact, yesterday, Ajadaya, who co-hosted, also brought in a ring. What is this, Charles?
That I love. I've been wearing it every day for the last several weeks. It is a piece of petrified coral encased in sterling silver. It's very heavy, and to me it's like wearing a museum exhibit on your finger. It's very heavy, and to me it's a statement piece because I like talking when I'm not saying any words. And I just love that because actually it's a natural history.
I love that. You like talking when you're not saying any words. Yeah, so right. This is coral encased in silver.
Petrified coral. So it's many years old.
Yeah. Wow, it's beautiful. And it is a conversation piece. In this day and age when people are finding many ways to converse, we're always stuck in our phones. It's always good to have a nice statement piece to get you going. And start those conversations, especially if you're a little shy. A nice statement piece goes a long way. Well, thank you so much, all the time we have for today. Charles, before we wrap up, where can people find you?
Well, you can find me on my Facebook account, Charles Snowden. Creative direction. You can find me also here. Okay. And thank you so much.
Excellent.
It was
wonderful.
a pleasure.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us today, Charles. Well, that's all the time we have for TaylorMade with Brian Rada. We'll see you on Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, where once again we'll be exploring fashion and style as an opportunity. And don't forget to join us on Twitter at TaylorMadeBrian. Until Monday, have a beautiful weekend and keep styling. For more TaylorMade on emPOWERme.tv, please subscribe. And don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.